Okay, so before we start with the notes today, we need just a little reminder of how to change a fraction into a percent. Remember how to do that? Okay, so let's say you took a test, and let's say you got 15 out of 35 on the test. Is that good? Not really. Okay. So let's say you got 15 out of 35 on the test, and you wanted to figure out what percent that is. Anybody know what you would do? And you have a calculator available to you. Okay, this is not in your notes packet yet, but anybody know how we would use our calculator to turn it into a percent? What would you do? What does this mean to do right here? Divide, right? That's a division sign. Okay, so grab your calculator and divide. You always do the top number divided by the bottom number. So 15 divided by 35. And you get 0.428,571. And some more numbers. Everybody got that? Okay. That's not a percent. How do I change that to a percent? Savannah? You move the decimal over 2. Okay? So you're just going to take that decimal and move it over 2. And we're going to round to the nearest 10. So this would be 42 point what percent? 42 point what? 0.9, because there's a 5 right here that would make this a 9. So 42.9%. Remember how to do that? Going back to you. Okay, so what if you got on a test 35 out of 40? What percent would that be? Rounding to the nearest 10. Caleb. 87.5%. If you divide, you get 0.875. Move your decimal back 2, so it's 87.5%. Okay, what if you got 7 out of 10? What percent is that? Go ahead. Okay, be careful. So when you divide this, I think your calculator gives you 0.7. What percent is that? 70. Because you have to move your decimal 2 places, which in this case means you have to put a 0 in it. So it would be 70%. Okay, does that ring a bell to everybody? We're good with that? Okay, everything we do today, we're going to end up turning that into percents. Okay? So we're going to talk about experimental probability, and this is on page 7 of your packet. Do we know what probability is? You guys know what probability is? Probability is like the chance of something happening. Okay? So a lot of times you hear about probability if somebody is playing the lottery or a scratch off, and you talk about the odds or the probability of winning. Okay? Or if somebody's gambling, a lot of times you hear about probability. Okay, so experimental probability is the number of times an event occurs to the total number of tries. So flipping a coin is an example of an event. What can happen when I flip a coin? Caleb.
You could land on heads or tails.
You could land on heads or tails. Agreed? So I can flip the coin, and I got heads. Flip the coin again, and I got tails. Flip the coin again, and I got tails. Okay? So when we talk about experimental probability, it's the number of times the event occurred to the total number of trials. Okay, and here's what that means. I just flipped a coin, so I would say the probability of getting heads on that coin. How many times did I get heads when I flipped the coin? And only once, right? I got heads once. So that's how many times that event occurred out of 3 total flips of the coin. Now that's a fraction. We're not going to write our answers as fractions. We're going to write them as percents. Okay, so what percent would that be? And take your calculator and do 1 divided by 3. What percent is that? Caleb.
33.3%.
33.3%. So 33.3% of the time I got heads. Now, what if I said tails? What is the probability of tails? How many times did I get tails? 2 out of 3. So what percent is that? Go ahead, Tyler. 66 point, rounding correctly, 7%. Okay, does that kind of make sense? Okay, so what you're going to see today is some problems like this. A marble is randomly drawn out of a bag and then replaced. The table shows the results after 50 draws. Estimate the probability of drawing a red marble. So we want to know the probability, P stands for probability, of getting a red marble. And we're going to start as writing that as a fraction. How many times did they get a red marble? Caleb. 15. Out of what? What number goes on the bottom? Go ahead, Caleb. 50. Because it says there were 50 total draws. Okay, we want to write that as a percent. So 15 divided by 50 is 0.3. What percent is that? 30%. So there's a 30% chance of drawing a red marble. Okay, how about this one? A marble is randomly drawn out of a bag and then replaced. 50 draws again. This time, what's the probability of a green marble? So same information, but now we want to know probability of green. What would the fraction be? Go ahead, Tyler. 12 out of 50. Okay, so what percent is that? Go ahead, Izzy. That is 24%. So on your homework, you're going to change everything to a percent. So you're going to write your answers as percents. Okay, flip the page. We're going to have a couple more problems. And then we're going to play a game. Okay, a ticket is randomly drawn out of a bag and then replaced. The table shows the results after 1,000 draws. What's the probability of picking a blue ticket? It should be right on the back side of, so we're on page 8. We want the probability of blue. And there's 112 blues out of 1,000. What percent is that? 11.2%. Questions there? Okay, last one on our notes. Which team is most likely to win their next game? Okay, now, we don't want to just guess. We know that the Huskies had 79 wins, the Cougars 85, and the Knights 90. Does that mean the Knights have the best chance of winning just because they've won the most games? No, not necessarily, because the number of games that the Cougars played more games. The Huskies played less games. So what we need to do is find each percent. Okay, let's start with the Huskies. We want to know the probability that they will win. And in this case, it's 79 wins out of How many total? 138. Okay, so use your calculator. What is that as a percent? Rounding to the nearest tenth. What percent is that? Go ahead, Tyler. 57.2%. Okay, the Cougars, we want to find the probability that they will win. And theirs is 85 out of 150. Did you get 56.7? 56.7%. And then finally, the Knights, the probability they will win is 90 games out of 146. So they have 61.6%. So which team is most likely to win their next game? If you had to pick. Izzy. The Knights. I would go with the Knights. Is that always going to be true? No. Anybody who watched the NCAA tournament knows that the team with the higher percentage isn't always the winning team. Right? Sometimes there's upsets. Okay, UCLA making it all the way to the Final Four wasn't predicted. Questions there? Okay, we're going to play a game. You guys up for a game this time? Yes. Okay, the game is called Skunk. Anybody ever played Skunk before? No. Yeah? No. Okay. You need this recording sheet, so take one, pass it back. It's kind of a fun game. You want to practice? No. Okay. So here's how the game works. There's going to be, okay, there's going to be 5 rounds. Okay? In a little bit, I'm going to tell everybody to stand up. So at the beginning of each round, we're going to stand. And I'm going to roll the dice. Okay, I'll roll them both. Whatever, if it ends up like this, that means you would get 8 points for that round. Okay? If I roll a 1 on either die, the round is over, and you lose all of your points for that round. Okay? Now, after each roll, you'll have a chance to sit down if you would like. If you choose to sit down, that means you keep your points. If you choose to risk it and stay standing, and then I roll a 1, you lose all your points. If I roll snake eyes, you lose all your points for every round. Okay? Does this make sense? Okay. So all you're doing is you're keeping track of your score. Okay. So that's why you have the SKUNK. Okay? So we'll play 5 rounds, and at the end of 5 rounds, we'll total up your score. Now, as soon as you choose to sit down, you get those points for that round. Okay? The only way you lose points is if you're still standing, and I roll a 1, or if you're still standing and I roll 2 1s. Okay? Alright, stand up. No. You can't sit yet. You don't have any points. Okay. Okay, here we go.
I'll take my chair.
We've got a 6 and a 6. So, you got 12 points. I'm going to keep track of what I rolled. So you put 12. You put 12. You got 12 points. Everybody's got 12 points right now. Now you have to decide, do you want to stay standing or do you want to sit down?
I'll do one more.
Okay, here we go. Ooh, a 6, a 5, and a 6. So 11, you get 11 more points. So put an 11 down.
On the pin.
Nope, on the S. We're still in the first round. Are you gonna stay standing or are you gonna sit? Everybody standing. Okay. Last chance. Once I roll them, you're stuck. Okay, here we go.
Oh.
6 and a 6.
Yeah.
Okay, somewhere else. So those of you that are sitting, lots of people. Okay, total up your score. If you're sitting already, add those points together. That's your score for round 1. If you're standing, here we go.
Ready?
Ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Oh.
2.
Dana.
There's it. Caleb sitting. So Caleb, add up your points for that round. All right, Lily and Kason, here we go. Ooh, a 2 and a 3. You're staying standing. Kason staying up. Okay. A 5 and a 3.
So how do we know the round's done?
When they get a 1.
When they get a 1 or they both decide to sit. Okay, ready?
So lucky.
5 and a 2.
I mean,
You're gonna stay standing? Lily, you're staying up? Okay.
Oh.
5 and a 4.
I'm
So 9.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna stay standing?
Yup. Gamble type.
A 6 and a 2. Yeah, but they could lose everything. They could lose everything. Oh, Casey's out. You're gonna stay up.
I can't. I
All right.
Yeah. You go to Troy.
Wow!
Set down right at the right time.
Jason showed. Okay, so add up your points. You have 0. Sorry. Okay. Next round, everybody up again. So, right now, everybody has points except Lily. She chose to stand. Okay, here we go. Round 2. Ready? Okay, now, you have to decide. Does anybody want to sit right now? Because if I roll a snake eyes, you lose everything. Okay, here we go. Except Lily's gonna stand. She doesn't have anything to lose anyway. Oh! Okay, round 2 is over. Nobody got any points for round 2. So everybody got 0 on round 2.
Okay.
That was bogus. Sorry, that's how it works.
I'm Joe, I think that's 6.
Okay, ready? Okay. Round 3. We've got a 2 and a 5. So 7 points. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Anybody want to sit? No. Okay. I hope I roll snake guys. Boxcar. 6 and a 6, so you got 12 points. Anybody want to sit?
I'm waiting, man.
Anybody want to sit? All right, here we go. A 3 and a 3. Everybody want to sit? Okay, here we go.
Oh.
4 and a 5. So 9 points. Anybody want to sit? Okay. A couple people sat. So if you sat, you can add up your points already. Oh! All of you lost. Who sat? Miguel, good choice.
And
Did we miss it? No. No. Oh, Cassie sat. Nice job. The rest of you sat. Okay. Round 4. Round 4. Everybody up. Okay, you ready? Okay. 6 and a 4. So 10 points. Anybody want to sit? 2 and a 5. Everyone sit down.
No.
Okay, here we go.
Oh. You don't want this early.
Anybody want to sit now?
I'm taking one more.
Some people sat. If you sat, you can add up your points.
Already? Really? Oh, I feel like this is
Okay, here we go.
Oh.
6 and a 2. So 8 points. Everyone want to sit now? Oh, Noelia. Krista. Okay, here we go. Lily's got nothing to lose at this point. She is standing as long as she can. Alright, last round. Cassidy's doing really well. So, okay, ready? Okay, here we go. Last round. 2 and a 6, so 8 points. Okay. Here we go. 6 and a 3. So 9 points. Everyone sit. No? Okay. Here we go. I gave you a chance. I asked you if you wanted to sit. Okay. So Anna, if you had points. Sorry, Lily. Okay, if you had points, add them all up and find out your total score. So take a minute, add them all up. Okay. Do we have that up? Anybody higher than 50? More than 60 points? More than 70? More than 80? More than 90? More than 100? Miguel's the winner. What'd you have, Miguel?
103.
Nice job. Cassidy was second with 95. Okay? Is that kind of fun? Did you get nervous? Like, oh no, what's gonna happen? Okay, don't gamble. Okay, so here's my question to you then. Okay, we're gonna play one more time after this, but we're gonna change the rules a little bit. What is the probability of losing your points? How would I figure that out? How many times did you end up losing your points? Based on what I roll, how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? There were 5 times where I rolled a 1. Out of how many total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So what percent is that? Tyler. 20.8%. Was it worth risking it?
No.
Yeah, that's a low. Is that a low percentage? Kind of. Okay. Okay. So now we're gonna play the game again, but this time we're only gonna play with 1 die.
Oh, even better.
Okay.
Even better.
Okay. So your scores won't be as high. You can flip to the back side and just do SK, UNK on the back. Okay. But this time we're just gonna play with 1 die. So if I roll 1, you lose your points. Done. For that round. So you can never lose all of your points. Okay? Okay. So, stand up. Okay, here we go. This time I'm only rolling one die. Everybody's up for the round. Here we go. You get 4 points. Okay, you want to sit or stand? Okay, here we go again. Oh, round over. Everybody's got 0. Yeah, I think it's kind of funny. Okay, round 2. Ready? Okay, here we go. 3. Anybody want to sit?
No.
Oh, Zachary's gonna sit. Hey, he's got points. The rest of you don't. Okay, here we go. Anybody want to sit now?
I'm going into it.
Anybody else gonna sit? Okay, here we go.
Oh!
5 more points. Everyone want to sit now? Oh, look at you guys all dropping like flies. One more. Okay, here we go. I thought you said that last time. Ooh, 5 more.
I'm done.
Alright.
Oh, Lily's gonna keep some points this time. All right, Matthew and Kason, here we go.
Best luck.
No.
Another 5.
You're going again?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, round 3. Round 3. Everybody up. Okay, here we go. 6. Anybody want to sit?
No.
Okay. 6 again. Anybody want to sit now? Matthew's out. He's going to keep some points this time. Everybody else wants to sit? Oh, Cassidy's out. Okay, here we go. 4. Everybody want to sit now? Maybe a throw? A lot of you. Okay. All right. Here we go. 4 again. Everybody sit?
I'm gonna sit.
Okay. Here we go.
Oh my god.
2. Everybody sit. Okay.
I'm going one more time.
Oh! Sorry.
Keep on going.
Kason, how many points you got so far?
Let's not talk about that.
4th round, everybody up. Okay, ready?
Yes.
2.
Okay, I might say that one.
Everybody sit. All right. 6. Everyone sit.
I need points.
Okay, here we go. 2. Want to sit now?
10 points.
4. Now? Oh, Cassidy's out. Chris is out. Hannah's out. Okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
That was close. That
I
makes
need points.
sense. All right.
I need points.
We got 3 left.
I'll take myself. Please be one.
6. Listen now. Matthew's out. Okay. All right, we've got Lily and Maya. 2. Sit now. Maya's out. Lily. Okay, here we go. 2. You up. She's up. Okay, that ends our round. No, you did. Okay, stand up. Last round. No, it wasn't. It's a tie. Anybody want to sit?
I'm sorry.
Okay, here we go. It's a 5 again. Let's sit now. Okay.
One's coming pretty soon.
Not coming soon.
Stop jinxing it, you guys.
Here we go.
One.
No!
Dang it.
Sorry. Okay, add up all your points.
19. Ooh, I would have
You lost. No. Oh, yeah.
I got 19. I'm chilling at 19.
The lowest score was more than last round.
Matthew, what'd you get?
I'm not saying.
Are you playing golf?
Okay, anybody have more than 40? More than 50? More than 60? Okay, 55. Tyler, what'd you have? 53? 52? 52. So Tyler wins this round. Nice job. What'd you
Oh,
have?
she got 64.
Oh, you had 60? You had?
64.
Sorry. Nice job. I didn't see your answer. So 64 and 63? 61. Oh, no,
There's
no.
a lucky ribbon.
Yep, they're lucky on this side of the room. You guys over there. Not so much. Okay, so here's my question. Let's relate this back to some probability. I rolled the die 26 times. What is the probability? Where does it work?
Yeah.
Probability of rolling a 1. How would I figure out the probability of rolling a 1? How many times did I roll a 1? 4 out of 26. So it's 15.4%. I can understand why we'd want to see standing, right? You have a way better chance of not rolling a 1 than rolling a 1. Because if I said, what's the probability of not 1? If I only roll a 1 4 times, how many times did I roll not a 1? 22 out of 26. And 22 divided by 26 is 84.6%. So that means if I were to roll the die 100 times, almost 85 times out of that 100, it wouldn't be a 1. That's a pretty good chance, right? Okay. Did the people around you influence you at all? If you saw everybody else starting to sit down, was it tempting to sit? Yeah, for some of you, you were like, oh, everybody else is sitting, I better sit. Okay. Some of you not so much, and then you lost. It is what it is. Okay. All right.